Good morning or good afternoon. Great, guys. A question. People keep asking me about the big heating system behind me and if I get really hot. So the very first day, I think that was day 4, when I moved there, the heating came on at 6:30 then. And so by 7:20, I was actually like, I was so hot. And so the next day and after that since, we've had the heating come on at 7:15. So if ever you want to know the time, and you see the fire is on, then it's after 7:15. Okay. So come, let's do some yoga. So standing to the front of your mat, and then just begin to roll down. Just rolling down. Just noticing the quality of your spine today, your legs. And bend your knees, slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, looking up. And then rolling back down again. Just listening. Hearing your body, checking in. How am I today? Reaching wide, looking up. And one last time, all the way down. Just listening. Really enjoying the sensations, whatever they are. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins, stretch your legs and look forward. And then bring your hands to the floor, step your right foot back, and just pause there for a moment. Just have a bit of a stretch there. Lengthening back into that back leg, try and feel the whole of your leg. And for me, that's, as I was saying yesterday, it's like micro movements, it's sensations, it's weight, it's temperature, it's clothing, it's directions of movement in my knee and my heel. Now, step back into a plank. Knees to the floor, belly to the floor. Slowly rising up, bring your fingers wide, toes have lifted. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then down, and one more time, just rising. Maybe have a bit of a wiggle of your shoulders when you're up there. And so if you're able to wiggle your shoulders, then you're not at your end range, which is what I want. Because if you're too high, then you can't wiggle your shoulders. So as soon as I say wiggle, it means that you have to find the normal place or a normalized place of the stretch. Nice. And then hands to the floor. Push back into your cat. Hands underneath your shoulders, shoulder shrug, squeezing backwards and forwards. Notice the texture and tone of your shoulders. Has it changed over the last few days as we do this? Squeezing deeply back, pushing deeply forward, squeezing back and forward. And then bend your elbows a little bit till you feel the tone of your arms. Stretch through your arms, push backwards, bend your elbows, nose down, backwards. Bend your elbows, nose down, and backwards. All the way back, downward dog. Have a bit of a wiggle. Nice. Stretch the right foot up towards the ceiling, reaching high. And then whatever way you do, step the right foot forward between your hands. Hop, skip, jump. Help your leg forward. And then step forward. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together. Bending your elbows, bending your knees all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift and look forward. Hands to the floor, stretch your left foot back. And just check in with this, length, weight, volume, shape, micro movements of your heel. So for me, I kind of roll from the big toe to the baby toe, or I mobilize into the foot a little bit, and suddenly I'm going, oh, I can feel my calf so much more when I do that. Or kind of bending my knee or wiggling my knee a little bit helps me feel my thigh more. Nice. Step back into your plank. And then drop your knees down, lower your belly all the way down. Fingers are wide, rise, toes have lifted, and have a bit of a twist. So shoulder comes forward, shoulder goes back. Nice, roll your shoulders. Nice, all the way down, push back. Shoulder shrug, push backwards, push forwards, push backwards, and push forwards. backwards and forwards. Bend your elbows, nose lowers down a little bit. Stretch, push. Lower your nose down a little bit. Stretch, push. And one more time. Lower your nose down a little bit. Stretch, push. Nice. Lower back, arching the lower back deeply. And then just roll from rounding to arching. And what I find with me is that one side of my lower back arches and the other one kind of hitchhikes along in the movement. So what's very interesting for me is to really focus on the side that doesn't move as clearly or that I'm not quite as aware of. Just noticing you what's happening. And you're endeavoring to make this not just a flowing movement. Pesky fly. Do you ever notice that this time of year flies bite? Oh my God. So if you see me doing really weird movements, it's because there's a fly biting me. So anyways, just really have a sense of tone and texture and strength in your pelvic tilt as you do this. Great. To push back into your downward dog. It's like an old Chinese proverb, may you have biting flies. That's like they bite, so they really hurt when they bite. Anyways, okay, great, focus. So stretch your left foot up towards the ceiling, and then step your left foot forward between your hands. Step forward, hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Slowly rolling up, reach your arms wide, palms come together. Nice, and then bend your elbows and bring them all the way down. Super, and again, reaching up, looking up. Bending your elbows, bending your knees, come down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins, stretch and look forward. Hands to the floor, step your right foot back and drop your right knee to the floor. If you want to put something soft underneath your knee, you can here. We will here for a little while. So from here, bring your right fingers to the floor so your fingertips are touching the floor, and then pull your left elbow back like a bow and arrow. Bend your front knee a little bit more, and then slowly begin to rise with your bow and arrow to point really steadily upwards. But as I go upwards, I have to pull my left elbow backwards as I point my right hand upwards. And just feel that. How do you really draw the front hand forward, lengthening? How do you draw the left elbow down and back? Nice. Slowly pointing down towards the floor. And so to make this movement easier, bring your left hand to your knee. And then rising up, reaching up, pointing your arrow upwards. And then coming down. Change arms. Bring your left fingertips to the floor. Draw your right elbow back like a bow and arrow. And then rising, reaching up, and really find the opening of the front arm upwards and the pulling down of the back elbow. Nice. Slowly point your arrow down towards the floor. I feel so Amazonian when I do this. And one more time. Rising up. Point your arrow upwards. Nice. And coming down, both hands to the floor. Bring both knees together. And then the cat pose. Round your back and arch your back. Round your back. Arch your back. One more time. Round your back. Arch your back. Bring the same foot forward. So left foot comes forward. Left foot forward between your two hands. And draw your left elbow back again. Right hand to the floor. And this time you're going to point directly forward. And your arrow is going to travel forwards and over towards the right. And then as far back as you can. So for me, I have to start really working the left leg to point backwards. And then slowly point your arrow forwards. And change arms. Left hand forward and then travel towards the left with your arrow. How far to the left can you go? You get a bit more stuck on this side. Feel that? Nice. All the way forward, both hands to the floor. Push back, downward dog. Give that right knee some CPR. Bending, stretching, lengthening. Have a bit of a wiggle. Nice. So we're going to do a thing called crouching. So crouching is where you Bring your bum back towards your heels and your knees are dropping down towards the floor in that direction. But the thing that'll stop you is the strength of your legs, the flexibility of your hips, the strength of your knees. So listen to the signals your body's giving you that says, oh, that's deep enough for me today. So listen. All these practices are progressive practices. They change over time. So bend your knees into crouching. Stretching. Now one more time. Crouching. And stretching. Slowly walk your feet forward. All the way forward to the front of your mat. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together. Bending your elbows, bending your knees all the way down. Hands to the floor. Forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Stretch your arms and look forward. Hands to the floor. Step the left foot back. Drop your left knee to the floor. Bow and arrow, right elbow back. Left hand is on the floor. Again, if you want to make it easier or if it's less strong, is your hand on your knee. And slowly rise with your left elbow. And just feel like the intensity of the reaching of your arrow, the pointing, the extending from your belly with strength. Slowly lowering down. And again, really pull back that elbow. Start again. Rising, reaching, listening. Nice. Coming down. Change. Bring your right fingers to the floor. Draw your left elbow back. Making a fist out of your left hand as you rise. And then coming down. One more time. Rise. How do you balance? How do you stabilize? How do you listen to your body? Nice. Both hands to the floor. Come back into your cat. Push back into your downward dog. And just have a bit of a wiggle. Bending your knees into crouching. Straighten through your legs. Bend your knees into crouching. Straighten through your legs. Nice. Step the right foot forward again. Drop your knee to the floor. And draw your right elbow back. Rise up until your arm is straight forward in front of you. Now twist towards the left. So my left hand is forward, twisting towards the left. How far back can you go on this side? Nice. Come back to center. Sorry about your knee in this one. Reach your left hand forward, right hand forward, draw your left elbow back. And then travel around the corner with your right hand. And notice on this twisting side, you'll get stuck. There's a place where you go, oh, that's as far as I can go. Nice. Hand forward, lengthen through your legs. Feel your knees. Nice. And then come land on your back. And with your knees bent, just land there. Super cool. So your feet, bring them so that they're hip distance apart. The arms are long beside you. And then roll up along your spine, rising up. And then roll down along your spine, really massaging into the floor. And again, rolling up. Really hearing your spine deepening into the floor. And then rolling down. Nice, one more time. Rising up. And rolling down. Nice. Bring your feet so they're as wide as your mat. So you should feel the edges of your mat underneath your feet. So just have a check. Your toes should feel the edges of your mat. Reach your arms straight out to the sides into a T. And then drop your knees down towards the right. Lean into the left leg a little bit more, like you're trying to draw the left leg down towards the floor. So there's extra stretch to the front of the left thigh, front of the left hip. Nice. Back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left and draw the right knee down a little bit extra. Hand back up to center. So the next movement, I call it kind of like an IKEA box, folding an IKEA box. So lift your bum off the floor. Your feet are still really wide. Now your left leg is going to stay in the same place, and your bum is going to drop slowly downwards, and your right knee is going to try and draw down towards your left ankle. So my knee has fallen inwards, but my left leg hasn't dropped. My left leg is center. And then pop back up into the bridge, the wide bridge, and then drop the left leg down. So your knee is coming towards your right ankle, and my bum taps the floor. I always feel like a pillow or something. It's really light. And then I pop back up into the high, and then drop your right knee down slowly. So we're internally rotating the knee, and then pop back up, and then down with the left. So if you have difficulty with zigzag, this one's going to be getting you. So just be careful, listening to your knees. Why would you not listen to your knees? And come back up. And just travel one side, back up, and then other side, and back up. Nice. And down, and back up. Nice. Just pause there. Feet are really wide. Your feet are strong into the floor. Squeeze through the buttocks. And just imagine that you can lift your pubic bone a little bit higher. So the wider your feet, the higher your pelvis goes. Nice. And then lower halfway down, and then just sway both knees a little bit to the right. And then both knees a little bit to the left. So now we're listening into, I always imagine, I'm not really sure, but I imagine that this is going to be really meeting my ligaments. So if you imagine your muscles are about the action of your body. So I do things, I punch, or I reach, or I move, or I run. But everything isn't that active, because if everything was that active, then all your joints would just fling apart in movement. So there's things a bit like the cling film on your sandwiches, which are the ligaments, and they're wrapping your joints and holding them stable. And they move really slowly. So as we drop weight into the sides of our legs and the sides of our hips, I always feel like it kind of meets those places. And drop your bum to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart. And for me, I always stabilize and pull my lower back into the floor rather than having my back arching and the pelvis falling. Really flatten down into the floor. Actually, we might do a pelvic tilt here. So pelvic tilt is where you allow your belly to soften as such, and your belly expands, and there's a space between the lower back and the floor. So there's a slight arch in the lower back. And now pull your lower back down and really flatten into the floor. And as you do so, your knees will slightly come together. It's only slight. It's happening because of the pelvic tilt. And then arching, and then flattening. So as I do this, there is this movement through the whole lower body because of the flattening down of the lower back and the arching of the lower back. Notice your range. Are both of your legs responding equally to this movement? If for any reason one of your legs doesn't like this, then just bring it to stand so that it's just foot is on the floor, your knee is up, and you're just kind of allowing that leg to do a normal pelvic tilt, more so than the soles of your feet together. If both of your knees don't like it, then just bring both of your soles of your feet to the floor and just do the normal pelvic tilt. Nice, one more time. Super cool. Flatten your lower back down, and then draw your navel backwards and lift your feet off the floor and draw your feet towards your belly. And then slowly lower the baby toe side of your feet down until they tap the floor lightly. Draw your soles of your feet up and then drop them down. If for any reason this is not comfortable, then have just the toes tapping and your knees and just directly up to your chest and down. So really choosing which way you have your legs oriented and finding your wellness. So baby toe side taps down. One more time, drawing up, reach down, hold on to your feet, rock from side to side. As you rock, just feel into your hips, your belly, your buttocks, the pelvic floor, the spine, the knees, the feet, the shoulders. Nice. And then send your legs up towards the ceiling and shake your legs. Actually, we're going to run. So bring both legs to the floor so your legs are long. And then Start to kind of bang the backs of your legs off the floor. In certain classes, in real classes, way back when, we used to have races. And I'd be like, oh my God, Kathleen is going for it. She's running down the road. So anyways, just feel that. You're just banging the backs of your knees off the floor. Oh, and then just stop. So just stay there if you want, resting there on your back, which feels very nice. Or roll over into your child's pose if you wish, or bend your knees. I'm just staying here. It's very nice. So just listen in. What would be a nice resting pose for you? If your lower back is saying, oh, I'm working hard, then just bend your knees. I'm just pausing. Resting into your belly with your breath. Nice, guys. How wonderful. So great. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Rolling over, rolling up, doing whatever it is that you do. And then just finding your way of emerging into your day. Question again, can I share this with my friends? Please do. I'd love you to share this with your friends. Family, friends, relatives, neighbors, people you randomly know. It would be great. So great. I'll see you guys tomorrow, day 16. Amazing. That was really nice. Deep lower back, pelvis, belly. I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? Great.